welcome to the channel of Digital to Real. Today we are going to discuss on the MCQs multiple choice question on Vhdl, and we would talk specially about the EDA tools. Okay, the content of the video is actually being taken from the San Foundry Global Education and Learning series of Vhdl. So the first question is, what is the full form of the Vhdl? Options are A. Verilog hardware description language. B. Very high speed description language. C. Variable hardware description language. Or D. Very high speed hardware description language. So the answer is actually of Vhdl is very high speed hardware description language. If I elaborate the answer, Vhdl means very high speed integrated circuit hardware description language. Now question number 2. What is the basic use of the EDA tools? A. Communication of the electronic devices. B. Fabrication of electronics hardware. C. Electronic circuit simulation and synthesis. D. Industrial automation. So the basic use of the EDA tools is electronic circuit simulation and synthesis. C. Answer is EDA expand to electronic design automation. I am elaborating the answer too. EDA actually expand to electronic design automation, and these tools are used for. So EDA tools are used for, they are used for synthesis purpose, they are used for implementation purpose, they are used for the simulation purpose, they are used for place and route purpose of electronic circuits on the software itself. That is called the EDA tool. Altera provide the EDA tools, Xilinx provide the EDA tools. Now question number 3. After compiling Vhdl code with any EDA tool, we get, when you compile the Vhdl code with EDA tool, what you get out of this 4 option? A final device, B. FPGA, C. Optimized Netlist, or D is the Netlist. So we get the Netlist, D. Answer is that after entering the code with any EDA tool, we need to compile code when the compilation is complete. So when you enter the RTL in the EDA tool, it compiles the code. When the compilation is complete, then we get the complete netlist of the system, and for the system which is designed by the Vhdl. Design means written in Vhdl. Okay. And after the code is written in Vhdl, we feed it to the EDA tool. EDA tool, what the EDA tool will do? It will compile it. And when it will compile it, it will come up with the netlist. Okay. After which optimization process is used to optimize the netlist. There is a separate process of optimizing the netlist. And then by placement and routing, we get final physical device. Question number 4. Which of the following is not an EDA tool? A. Visual C++, B. Quartus 2, C. Xilinx ISE, or D. Max Plus 2. So answer is B. So Visual C++ is not an EDA tool. Now elaborating the answer, Quartus 2 EDA tool is used for Altera CPLD and FPGA devices. Xilinx ISE is used for Xilinx CPLD and FPGA devices. And Max Plus is another advanced EDA tool for the Altera CPLDs. Question number 5. The process of transforming a design entry information of the circuit into a set of logic equations in an EDA tool is known as. So we have to tell me what is the process where the design entry we make in RTL for the circuit, and it get translated into a set of logic equation in an EDA tool. So is it simulation? Is it synthesis? Is it optimization, or is it verification? The answer is synthesis. Answer. Synthesis is the generation of the netlist where design entry of the RTL in HDL language is translated into a set of logic equation. Okay. What is the synthesis? It is the process of generation of the netlist where the design entry of the RTL in HDL language is translated into set of logic equation where the relationship of the input and output is clear. And equivalent primitive gates and IPs are put to the what the synthesis does. You make the entry in the RTL in a register transfer logic language, whether it is VHDL or it is Verilog, into the EDA tool. So inside the EDA tool, it translates the language design entry into a set of logic equations. Okay. And what the logic equation does, the logic equation make the relationship what is the input and output very clear. And based on the input-output relationship, the equivalent standard primitive gates, standard primitive ITs are put. And this is how the netlist is formed for synthesis. Question number 6. Place and route EDA tools are used to take the design netlist and implement the design in the device. So, is it true or false? So, the place and route EDA tools are there, and what they do? They are used to take the design netlist and then they implement the design into the device. So, true or false? Answer is true. Number 7. An anti-fuse programming technology is associated with. So, there is an anti-fuse programming technology. What it is associated with out of this 4? CPLDs, FPGAs, SPLDs, and D is the ASIC. So, they are associated with FPGAs. So, answer, if I elaborate the answer, anti-fuse technology is used to burn the information from the place and route tools into appropriate fuses in the FPGAs. So, FPGA is actually, they are full of fuses are there, connections are there, you have to burn it. It is used to burn the information from place and route tools into appropriate fuses in FPGA. Question number 8. Which of the following is not a backend tool? So, out of this 4, you have to tell me which one is not a backend tool. A. Floor planning tool. B. Placement tool. C. Routing tool. D. Simulators. So, simulators is a front-end tool. It is not a backend tool. Now, here is the question number 9. What are the differences between simulation tools and synthesis tool? We have to tell the differences. Here are the 4 options. Option A. Simulators are used to check the performance of the circuit, and synthesis tool are used for the fabrication of the circuit. Option B is simulators and synthesis tool works exactly same. Now option C is simulators are used just to check the basic functionality of the circuit. Simulators are used just to check the basic functionality of the circuit, and synthesis tool includes the timing constraint and other factors along with the simulation. That is the C option, D. Simulation finds the error in the code and synthesis tool corrects the code. So, answer is C. Simulators are used just to check the basic functionality of the circuit, and synthesis tool includes timing constraint and other factors along with simulation. Question number 10. What is the extension of the netlist? What is the extension we put for the netlist file? Input to the place and route EDA tools. So, what is the netlist file? It is the input to the place and route EDA tools. So, here are the 4 options. EIDF, B, SDF, C, TXT, D, CPP. So, extension of the netlist file, which is the input to the place and route EDA tool, is EIDF, option A. So, thank you. Please subscribe the channel. Please share with your friends. Again, I give the credit of the content to the SAN Foundry Global Education and Learning series on Vhdl. Thank you.